Good morning, everyone. This is Sue Bartow with Ballou Company Real Estate, and I'm here with Frankie Churchill from Sierra Pacific Mortgage. We are here to chat with you. Well, I guess we're chatting with each other, but we're going to tell you some of the things that are going on in the real estate market. It seems just to be the talk of the town, and we just want to bring some facts to you and some experience to you so you can make informed choices. So first, we want to start with a quick market update. And as far as real estate goes here in Nevada County, I know everyone was waiting for prices on homes to go down, but some of us have seen that they haven't gone down as much as we were hoping. We're definitely out of the firestorm of 2021. We aren't getting 20 offers on a home at the moment, although I have heard of some kind of anomalies, but really for the most part, houses are staying on market a little bit longer. And they're closing at list price or maybe just under in most cases. We did go through a period where things were a little bit, they were coming off that list price a lot more. But if you have a house that is ready to go, that doesn't need a lot of work, and you work with your agent and you price it right, that house is gonna go. And we're really seeing that. I have seen a couple closings over asking and some multiple offers. So when I look at the home, it's one that is turnkey. It doesn't need a bunch of updating. It doesn't need any work done to it. I mean, of course, I wasn't in the transaction. Maybe there's some small stuff. But for the most part, the family or the buyer can just move in and live. Their dollar just doesn't go as far today. So your house has to be just ready to sell and ready for the next person to come in. Or you got to price it lower just to get that investor type in the door.
Right.
So that's what's kind of going on here in Nevada County. We have 3 months of inventory roughly, which is really low. That means it's a seller's market. So if you're on the fence, call me. Let's get you rolling on getting your house ready to go on market, because we're getting through this crazy weather and we're going to see a good spring season, I think. But I guess Frankie's going to tell us a little bit more about what our spring season is going to look like, because it's going to talk about interest rates. What's going on with interest rates?
Yes, so there's been certainly some improvements to the mortgage market and the interest rates just recently. In the last year, with the Fed's increasing interest rates and inflation taking place, the rates have went up a bit. However,
a bit, maybe
a bit,
a lot.
Yeah, quite a bit, but they have improved quite a bit in the recent weeks. A lot of that has to do with the strain on the financial system right now, with the increases that the Feds have done with the rates. That has caused certain banks to have financial problems. We've seen that in the news.
Right, Silicon Valley Bank.
Absolutely.
And then you were just telling me about another one.
Yesterday there was Credit Suisse Bank that also is showing signs of significant, substantial losses. And they are attributing that to the Fed increases. So it could happen still, but I think that it's probably a little less likely that we'll see another, Fed rate hike at the end of this month.
Well,
They're meeting March 20th and 21st. The interest rates right now on so there's FHA loans, conventional, there's also VA loans, but most commonly FHA and conventional. FHA loans are in the low to mid 5% range right now.
That's good.
And for conventional loans in the low to mid 6s, which is quite a bit better than where they have been, because they certainly have been over 7% this year. So that's
keep in mind, guys, when my husband and I bought the house we live in, it was 6% back then. That was 2007. So we've been here before. This isn't unknown territory, and we've been worse before, right?
It's a more normalized market right now.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely. We had some free money for a while, I think.
For a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so then a lot of times I get people coming up to me and they're like, hey, I'm a first-time home buyer. Doesn't that get me something like a better deal in buying a home? And maybe some of you guys are first-time home buyers out there. So Frankie, let's talk about what is a first-time home buyer.
Yes.
And what's available to them.
So a first-time home buyer is someone who has not owned a home in the last 3 years. And the bank will verify that through your tax returns to see that you haven't owned or claimed any mortgage interest deduction in the last 3 years. For first-time home buyers, there's some very unique programs, and ones where if you're on the fence with home ownership right now, maybe you're renting and you feel like, well, I just don't have a down payment, or I don't have money in the bank as reserve. Maybe my credit score isn't quite as high as I would like it to be. there's been so many new programs to help make homeownership more affordable.
Nice.
And for first-time home for everybody, but for first-time home buyers in particular. There's one in particular that is through a government program. It's called Cal HFA. And what that provides is a 20% down payment to a first-time home buyer. And you don't have to have a super high credit score. If you're in the middle 600 range,
wow,
you would ultimately qualify for that program.
I know there's a lot of you out there in that range.
You know, and so there's also one that gives substantial discounts off of the cost or out-of-pocket expenses for a conventional loan. And I've had people that have saved in that $300,000 to $400,000 price point, have saved $8,000 to $10,000 in costs out of pocket.
Wow.
With that conventional financing. So there's different guidelines involved in those products, and so really the best place to start with all of this is to talk first with me as the lender to get your finances in order, to get your budget established, and make sure that we go over all the programs that are available to one right now. And once we have that information, everything's been really fully vetted out, then we can get you back in front of Sue and start your home shopping.
Awesome. Actually, I have a question on that Cal HFA. Income levels on that. Now, a lot of these loan programs for down payment assistance, there's usually a cap, and it's sometimes low, but it sounds like this new program, it's not so low.
It's not. That's one other thing, other than a 20% down payment, which is unheard of. We've never had a program like that provided that much of down payment assistance is what it is. But it has a income limit it's almost 200,000. So in Nevada County, you can earn in the high 100,000 range and still qualify for this down payment assistance line.
That's fantastic. I've had a lot of people come up to me and they're like, my income's really good. I just don't have the savings. Maybe they've just had a lot of expenses, or they're trying to build a family or whatever, and rent is through the roof. So they're just losing that savings to some of those expenses, but their income is pretty good. And so that sounds like a really good program for some of those folks.
Absolutely. It just takes, right now there's just so much available for the first-time home buyer. It takes a lot of the stress out of the picture of, having to maybe borrow money from family, although that's an eligible way to put money down. There's just so many other resources to make the down payment available to you, or just make the costs a lot less than they used to be.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's all great news for home buyers. So yes, it's still a seller's market, but buyers, I think the financial sector is really trying to make it attractive for you to buy a home in this challenging market. And Cal HFA is one program that we weren't seeing a whole lot of in the last couple of years, because we just had so much crazy money and cash and low interest rates on the conventionals that no one could compete. Those other loan products couldn't really compete.
Right.
So it's really nice to see that the banks are doing, or the government's doing something to make home ownership more affordable.
Definitely.
So I think you already said this a little bit. Let's reiterate. If you want to buy a home, what do you need to do first so that you guys are ready for me to take you shopping?
Talk to the lender. Give me a call. You can reach me at 916-893-3883. And I would love to talk with you, just to have a conversation. It's free advice, free loan application. There's no money out of your pocket to find out where you stand. And I think you'll be surprised that there's most likely going to be an opportunity for you to obtain financing and get out of renting and into the American dream of home ownership.
Awesome. Yeah, don't forget to call Frankie. We're going to put his information down below in the comments. Just remember, rent is 100% interest. So 6% on a loan is a whole lot less than 100% interest. So, and then give me a call so we can go shopping. And my number is 530-205-3338. I'll put it down below, or it's on my Facebook page. And Frankie can get you all the information you need for a loan. So hope this has been helpful. We might get together and do this again, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
Thanks, Frankie.